you saw this story, this particular one. This is about a man who's become a billionaire, all thanks, of course, to the burgeoning, migrant crisis that is literally engulfing the United Kingdom, and I know other parts of the world too. But over here, we literally have zero border control. This is all thanks, of course, to the current British Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, alongside the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer. Now, you may, of course, remember this particular story a couple of weeks back now, which they hope was lost in the ether, all thanks to the victory celebrations, the VE Day 80. Well, they didn't really want this to be remembered, but of course, as ever, I have. Let me explain. Morning, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today. Lovely to have your company. And, when you see stories, so I'll have a wave. When you see stories like that, it's pretty, when you think, wow, this guy's become a billionaire for the extortionate rates of what he's made via hotel rooms, of course, to migrants. Migrants that are literally teeming into the country with literally no control. There are no passport controls, we don't know their criminal backgrounds, and now they're roaming the streets, all thanks to the fact that this government, and including this particular British Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, famously stood there saying, "Refugees welcome." She couldn't wait, could she? Of course, there are many people literally in the front line of the government, including Lisa Nandy, said the same thing. And as we've now seen, the current British Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, well, rather than trying to solve the problem and defend our borders as we did as we celebrated victory in Europe, well, he's decided to welcome in even more. Now, as many people may realise, the thing is, he believes that these people that they welcome in, and of course, well, with your and I's money, the taxpayers' money, eventually they'll keep voting this party back in. It won't work. They will turn on them, as Keir is now finding out, and as he saw in the recent local elections. But there was this scheme. You see, the idea really was to landlords was to sort of boot out long-standing tenants and replace them with guaranteed 5-year rock-solid rents. They would be paid in advance, on time, and any repairs needed, etc., well, that would all be taken care of as well. Now, at first, this seemed quite a good idea, but then there were many loopholes in it. Not exactly for the person living there, but, for the government. Now, according to a very well-placed source in Whitehall, this is all about to change, because it looks like Sir Keir Starmer, alongside the Deputy British Prime Minister Angela Rayner, who famously said, of course, that actually most of the brand new homes, and these are her words, quoting, would be offered to migrants. So if you've been on a council waiting list for a long time, get to the back of the queue. That really is the message that they're sending. Now, certain landlords have refused to accept some of these conditions. However, the government, I've been told, and as ever, I have to say allegedly, are looking to increase this particular offer to make it even more tempting, eye-watering, and of course, more, well, substantial, shall we say. At this point, one might suggest that if you're British and, of course, looking to rent somewhere here in the United Kingdom, unless you're looking at the top tier end or indeed maybe some rundown property, and unless, of course, many people might suggest you've turned up on a dinghy, well, you won't be looking at the most salubrious of places. Meanwhile, behind your back, as they feel it's lost in the very busy period, as I say, of victory in Europe 80, they're hoping to tempt landlords with a better offer to make sure that they can close down the migrant hotels and, of course, make out that they've done a lot to protect our borders. All the while, behind the scenes, they're simply masking the figures. Always happy to share. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.